Recently, in the last few months, I've gotten back into PC building and overclocking. I needed to upgrade since my last CPU was a 3930K, a third generation Intel CPU. Right now, Intel is on their 16th generation. I also had a GTX 1080 Ti and got a great deal on an RTX 3080 because there's an issue with the RTX 3080s where they have a frequent black screen crash with the fans going 200%. I ended up fixing that, as you can see in my previous video, where you just up the core voltage until it's stable. I ended up watching a lot of YouTube reviews, as well as looking at computer hardware forum reviews in order to find the best price to performance deals. Not only was I upgrading my own computer, but my father-in-law, mother-in-law, and brother-in-law's as well. What I found was similar to what I find when watching other YouTube channels. Anyone over 100,000 subscribers, especially over 1 million subscribers, are in it for the money. They need to push a narrative. That's because that's how they get paid. Their business is to get you to buy, whether it's a product or a belief. Lately, I've been watching and reading reviews for the latest AMD 9800X3D CPU, and I found it funny that they mainly benchmark at 1080p. The 1440p and 4K data isn't meaningless because obviously a lot of people are wanting it. The same reviewers pushing people to upgrading to a faster gaming CPU using 1080p benchmarks are the same people pushing people to upgrading to a faster gaming GPU with more VRAM using 1440p and 4K benchmarks. There's a very few minority of rich people who have both a $500 9800 X3D and a $2,000 RTX 4090. They're also not gaming at 1080p. They've got a $1,000 plus 4K monitor and gaming at 4K. The best analogy I have is someone who goes into a car dealership and says, I want the fastest car available. The salesman replies, well, here you go. It goes 0 to 60 in 1.4 seconds. The buyer replies, well, what's the top speed? The salesman goes, top speed is meaningless. The top speed is not meaningless. It matters. He doesn't care how fast you get to 60 miles per hour. The buyer wants to go 300 plus miles per hour. Now, what if reviewers stopped reviewing write speeds for NVMe SSDs and just focused on read speeds? You're only getting half the data presented to you. And saying write speed is meaningless is the reason we go to reviewers and topic posters who present and analyze data in the first place, and not to just listen to some commenter that says, go buy. Anyways, if you look at the 9800 X3D comparing it to other CPUs at 1440p and 4K gaming, you're only getting a 0.1% average FPS boost over the 7800 X3D. Let me repeat that. At 1440p and 4K gaming, you're only getting a 0.1% average FPS boost over the 7800 X3D. Many games are not CPU bottlenecked anymore, especially non AAA titles. Again, these same reviewers will push only AAA title benchmarks.